Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Hey guys, welcome back or welcome to my channel. Today's video is part 2 of 12 friends pick my reads for the year. It's finally coming for you guys. You're finally getting it. I did film the screenshot, which is hopefully up on screen now playing out for you guys. I did pick the 3 books months ago, ages ago, with the plan to start the video then, but that didn't happen because life got in the way. You guys know I ended up not posting or filming at all really in the month of April / May. It all kind of went to shit around that sort of time. And then I also got like quite bombarded with a load of arcs. Like all of a sudden arcs were filling my inbox, and we're finally slowing down. We're finally having a little slowdown, so I'm able to get to our 3 books for today's video, which I'm looking forward to because they've been sat on my TBR just staring at me for like a couple of months now. So here we go. I have Lightlark by Alex Aster, which Louise picked for me. Assistant to the Villain by Nicole Maehrer, which Catherine picked for me, and then Godkiller by 𝖜𝖊𝑑𝖈, which Hannah picked for me. I'm gonna go for Godkiller first. Godkiller is actually gonna be the first book I read. It's the shortest, it's 288 pages, and I feel like it's gonna be quicker for me to read, only because I haven't actually really, I don't think I've read a fantasy in ages. I'm trying to think of the last time I read a fantasy. So we're gonna go with Godkiller first. Like I said, it's the shortest book. It's also the one that's been on my TBR and on my shelving the longest. So I do kind of just want to get it read and out of the way to just find out if it is a book for me, if it is a series I'm gonna want to read, if it's an author I'm gonna enjoy. I do just kind of want to get that done and out of the way, and then because I'm kind of in the middle of resorting my shelving and selling books off, I can then just kind of like immediately remove it. So we are gonna pick Godkiller first, so we can get this one done and dusted. And then I don't really know from there. We have another fantasy, and then we have like a little cozy mystery, which I might do that one and then save Lightlark till last, because I do have high hopes for Lightlark. I do think I'm going to really love Lightlark, so I might save that one till last and read that one. And it's very small writing. Oh my god, can you see how small writing is? Okay, yeah, small writing, jeez, awesome, thank you. But yeah, I think that might be what I do. I'm going to start with Godkiller, then Assistant to the Villain, and we're going to end off today's video with Lightlark. So that's where we're at. I'm going to go do some bits first before I sit down and pick up Godkiller for the night and see how far I get, but I will come back to you guys once we get started. Morning. So it is coming up to 10 o'clock. I started reading Godkiller last night. I made it to page 18, literally partway through a chapter, and I had to stop because I'm not vibing with it. I'm not vibing with it right now. It's not hooked me in. I've not been gripped by the story. I've not been left like eager to read it and stuff, and I'm a little bit like, I wouldn't say confused, but baffled maybe. I know they're practically the same thing, but I don't really know how else to describe it. But I am gonna try again later. I'm gonna try a little bit later instead of like probably this afternoon, evening, instead of like just before I go to bed. Hopefully kind of be a little bit more awake when I read it and see if that helps. But I just don't, I'm not vibing with it. Like, you know, it was bad for me not vibing with a book if I've stopped halfway through a chapter. Normally I will persevere to the next chapter, and I just couldn't. So that tells you all you need to know about how I'm feeling about this book. So yeah, I'm gonna put this on hold for now, and I'm gonna come back and try it again later, but I need to go out today, so I'm gonna take a completely different book, nothing to do with this video, with me. So yeah, I don't know. I have nothing to say. Like, I'm 18 pages in, and it's just not it for me right now. So we'll see. But we're gonna come back this afternoon, and we will we'll go from there together, guys. See what happens. Morning. It is coming up to 11:30 on Wednesday. I'm DNFing Godkiller. I made it to page 67, 62. I made a good, decent dent. I just can't. I can't get into the story. I'm a little bit confused by the story as well, what I would say. I'm a bit baffled by it all, and I'm not really getting on with the writing either. The writing is definitely my biggest put off. It's just something about the writing is not hitting it for me. So yeah, we're saying bye-bye to Godkiller. I think maybe if it was like a few years back when it was first put on my DBR, I might have actually enjoyed it. But I think where my tastes and everything have changed so much, I don't think this is my kind of book anymore, and I don't think this writing is my kind of my stuff. So yeah, we're saying bye-bye. We're saying bye-bye to Godkiller. I don't really have anything else to say to you guys. It's just not for me, this one. It's just not my cup of tea, shall we say. It's not my cup of tea. So yeah, we're out of luck on the first book. So yeah, what a great start. Great start to part 2. Next up though is Assistant to the Villain by Nicole Maehrer, which who picked this one for me again? I can't remember. I have it on the screen. But yeah, Assistant to the Villain is next. I think this is one that I'm going to enjoy. I do think it is. It's kind of like, I think it's like cozy mystery. I think it's going to be quite comical, bit of a comedic aspect to it. So hopefully this is something I'm going to enjoy. It really blew up, and I know the third one's out in August, I think. So what better time to figure out if this is one that I'm gonna enjoy. Okay, it says from TikTok sensation comes a laugh out loud fantasy romance about the assistant to an evil villain and their unlikely love story. There we go then. There we go then. That's what it is. Can you tell I hadn't looked into the book at all? There was just a few bits I knew. But we're gonna go for it. Started off great with a DNF. And not a cup of tea me book, and hopefully this book is going to make up for it. We hope. Fingers crossed. Morning. So I started Assistant to the Villain last night, or yesterday afternoonish. I've made a decent little dent. I'm on chapter 11, page 76. So I've made a really decent little dent into it. We're kind of getting an idea of them. We've built up the world a little bit. We've learned how they've met. We're still learning the villain. I've only had a couple of his POVs, but we mainly just see him through 𝖬𝖊's point of view. And the 2 POVs that I've seen of his are very interesting because like his internal monologue to 𝖬𝖊 and to situations feel very different obviously from what 𝖬𝖊 portrays him as in her opinion and in her perspective. So it's very interesting to see that dynamic. 𝖬𝖊 in herself, I've never really known how to describe her. I did think I was going to struggle majorly at the beginning because of the way it was written and stuff. It felt quite childish. I don't really know how else to describe it. Obviously I know it's got the comedic aspects to it, and I know obviously 𝖬𝖊 is quite a comedic character. Her little one-liners, her little expressions and things like that, they are quite comedic. So I don't really want to call it childish, but that's the only way I can really kind of describe it to how it was feeling in the writing. But the further we've gone along and the further we've got to know 𝖬𝖊, it's kind of, I don't want to say grown on me, but I've kind of just got used to it, and I can kind of see how it works. So yeah, she has these kind of like, I'm going to say it again, childish elements in the way she acts and things like that, but she's definitely an interesting character, and there's definitely more to her story to explore based on the things that we've seen things alluding to her past with her mother, things like slight alluding to a past with a past employment. There's something there that I feel like is going to be explored because of like the way they've been worded, the situations, like what happened, things like that, alluding to me that there's something more to that situation. So I'm intrigued to watch that and see if any of that comes out. And the same with the villain. There's things that have been alluded to from his POV that I'm intrigued to see. I have a feeling with the connection between him and the king is gonna be something you probably don't expect. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm feeling. But yeah, it's really interesting. The prologue, which is when they meet, and then the first chapter, which is 5 months later, is when she's really like been working with him. So it was definitely good to have the little prologue to see how they met, kind of get an idea of their like little dynamics, and then to go into 5 months later, which I think is really good. I think for me personally, if we had saw them from the very beginning of working together and the whole 5 months that they were working together, one, it would have taken up a lot of time, and two, I think it might have just been quite tedious. It wouldn't have really been necessary. So I am very glad that we did have that time jump and kind of skip the main, her learning to work for him, learning her job role, learning all this and this. So I definitely think that was beneficial. So yeah, I am intrigued by this. 𝖬𝖊's family, I am intrigued by, because I feel like something's going to go down there. But yeah, that's kind of a gist, kind of a little gist of where I'm at, where I'm feeling, what's kind of going on. And yeah, I'm intrigued by this. So for anybody who doesn't know what Assistant to the Villain is, I'm going to read the back for you because I always mess up. So let me read the back for you. Assistant wanted. Notorious high-ranking villain seeks loyal, level-headed assistant for unspecified office duties, supporting staff of random mayhem and terror, and other dark things in general. Discretion amassed excellent benefits. With her ailing father and younger sister to support, 𝖬𝖊's sage employment status isn't just important, it is vital. So when a mishap with Renedorn's most infamous villain results in a job offer, naturally she says yes. No job is perfect, of course, but even less so when you develop a teeny crush on your terrifying, temperamental and undeniably hot boss. Don't find 𝖬𝖊 so attractive, 𝖬𝖊. But just when she's getting used to severed heads suspended from the ceiling and the odd squish of an errant eyeball beneath her heel, 𝖬𝖊 suspects this dungeon has a huge rat, and not just the literal kind. Because something rotten is growing in the kingdom of Renedorn, and someone wants to take the villain and his entire nefarious empire out. Now 𝖬𝖊 must not only resist drooling over her boss, but also figure out exactly who is sabotaging his work and ensure he makes them pay. After all, a good job is hard to find. So there we go. There we go. That is what this book is about. Like I said, I read the back. You guys know me, if I try and describe a book, I'm gonna fuck it up, and you guys are gonna be like, I still don't know what this book means. So there we go. This is what this book is. Also, on the back here, this frog. Can you see it? This frog. 𝖬𝖊. I'm really intrigued to hear the backstory. I'm intrigued to find out about 𝖬𝖊 because there is more to this frog. There is more. And it's quite comical that the big old villain, our little evil guy, has a frog that wears a crown on his head and uses signs for one-word communication. It's just weird and it's cute and it's adorable, and I'm excited to see what's going to go down there because there is a story there too. I'm in detective mode. So yeah, that is Assistant to Villain. That's where we started with this one and we're enjoying it. It is Thursday the 24th. Yes, 24th of July. I am due at my grandparents today. I've got changed into this outfit and now it looks like it's gonna rain. Great fun. Anywho, I'm indoors for most of the day, so it's alright. I only need to walk down to the shops. I'm due at my grandparents today. I am going to take Assistant to Villain with me. I do plan on trying to read as much as I can whilst I'm there. I am also taking my laptop just in case I need to do a little bit of work whilst I'm there. But otherwise, we're good to go. Today's release day for Pugging Strong, which is not a part of this video at all. But yeah, that's the where we're at. I'm taking this with me. Hopefully I'll have a more decent chunk read by the time I come back. If I can get to like halfway, get to chapter 22, if I can read up to chapter 22 by the time I come back, then I should in theory hopefully be able to smash out the rest of it tonight, because it's actually quite a quick read, which is good. I really need something quick and easy at the moment, and kind of quick reads and just kind of get going, because I'm getting back into my mojo of reading. I've been struggling for reading for a little while, but I'm kind of getting back into it, but I think I might have been arced out. So now I'm picking up the occasional book that I want to read and things that I'm kind of feel like I'm coming back into my reading self. I never slumped because I was still reading, I was still wanting to read. I just had lost the mental stability to read. Is that what I want to go for? I just wasn't even mentally in the place to want to read. There we go. I just wasn't mentally there for reading, so that's where we're at. That's where we're at. But yeah, I'm gonna go. Hey guys, so I've been home for a little bit. It's now 5 to 7. I've literally been home and just reading. But I thought actually I need to update you guys so you guys know where I'm at. I'm actually at chapter 30, page 190. I'm over halfway and I'm really enjoying this. Like, it's such an easy read. Like, I'm literally just flying through it. It all flows nicely, the writing flows, the plot, the pace of the plot flows nicely. And the characters are really interesting and I'm loving exploring them more and more. And we've learned a little bit more about Evie and her past, and not how she's in the situation, that's a very wrong choice of wording this guy. A past that's kind of led her into the direction she has taken, and led her into, you know, meeting the villain, shall we say. So yeah, a past incident, how it led her to where she is. We've learnt more of that, and I'm intrigued to see where that's going to continue leading, because there's been like a revelation outside of there's been a revelation like as a part of that incident, but it's now been like another part's been drawn out from that, and I'm intrigued to see more of that be explored, because I want to hopefully that gets resolved. I'm trying not to spoil anything here, so this is probably really badly explanation, but during that incident something happened, and then that's kind of had a bit of a revelation around that. So I'm intrigued to see that explored, and hopefully that gets fixed. But I imagine there might be something that happens before, or it may take some time for that to fix, but we'll see. But yeah, I'm enjoying that. The villain is very interesting. He is very much in a battle within his mind on, you know, who he's built himself to be, who he's portraying himself to be to others, and then on the other flip side of that is how he feels about Evie and how Evie makes him feel, and like, you know, all these other little sides that since meeting Evie and getting close to Evie are now coming out, and he's like, you can see it's really throwing him for sorts, and he's like doesn't know how to handle it. So, but yeah, so it's really thrown him for sorts, and I'm intrigued to watch this play out a little bit more. But yes, it's very interesting, and we're learning a little bit more about him and his past, and kind of inclines towards what's led him where he is now. And we found out that there's things that I didn't see coming that he has, and it's quite interesting. There's things that have been revealed that I didn't see coming with regards to the villain, and I'm intrigued to see more of that play out, and if there's going to be any more revelations like those two. If you know, you know. So I'm intrigued to watch this more play out and see more of the villain come out, because we only have a few like every couple of Evie chapters we then get a villain chapter. So I'm intrigued to see some more of them and explore some more of them and the story, and have more things unravel. But yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I'm flying through it. I should. Do you know what? In theory I could probably get this finished tonight, if I'm being honest. I could probably finish this tonight, so yeah. I'm gonna get myself ready for bed so I can just chill into bed for the night, and then continue reading Assistant to the Villain. So I've made it to chapter 43. I'm on page 255. Assistant to the Villain. I am really enjoying this. Is this like the absolute best book in the world? No, it's not. But it is flowing so nicely, and the pace is nice in the story. It's getting more intriguing, like more layers are coming into play. And we did have what I said with regards to the villain, how we had 2 revelations and I thought there was going to be more. There was another one. So I'm intrigued to watch more of those play out, and more of Evie's background is coming out in the sense that the villain's learning about them. He's learning about some of her history and her past, and Evie's actually obviously also learning more about his, but there is still more there to explore and more to see and more to delve into. So I'm eager for those to play out, but obviously I do know there's 3 books. There's 3 books. I think The Accomplice is the last book. I don't think there's another one after. I'm not sure, but I know there's 3, so I do have the second one to hand, so I am wondering how much of a hanger I'm probably going to be left on for this one or not. We'll see, but I do have the second one to hand. But yeah, things are getting interesting. I mean, they're already interesting, because the banter like between them and watching this episode of the villain, and obviously, like I said, we're getting more layers coming out, but it's getting interesting and intriguing to watch more of the kind of mystery side come out, more of the kind of the what's the word I'm looking for? More of the mystery around who's trying to take out the villain, who's trying to destroy the villain. As more incidents happen revolving around that, and more things come to light, the more and more I'm having like theories come into mind, and I'm like, could this be this person? Could it be this person? Could it be this? And my brain's like running 50 miles an hour in like all these different situations, and I'm like, it needs to stop so I can try and I feel like I'm doing an Evie. Okay, I feel like I'm doing an Evie because I feel like with Evie, she's like, constantly, like when she has the thing of moment, like you'll see her, she'll go into like a ramble. She'll say something and then she'll go in a ramble of trying to like cover what she said, and like it just tends, and it ends up like digging her into a deeper hole. And I feel like that's what my brain's doing with like theories. If you guys have read this book, you know what Evie's like, so you'll know what I mean when I say like that's what's happening with me with theories. Like my brain just is going like 50 miles an hour. So yeah, I'm intrigued to see more of that come out and more to play, and just yeah, I've got 90 pages left, which I'm probably gonna maybe sit and finish tonight, maybe in the morning, I don't know. Let's see what happens. Probably could finish it tonight. It's coming up to 20 past 10, so I could very easily finish that tonight, but I'm just gonna have a chill for a minute. Probably either finish it in the early hours this morning or in the morning after I've had some sleep, but we'll see. But yeah, I am enjoying this so far, and I'm intrigued to see if a couple of my theories are going to be right. I'm intrigued to see if something else is going to happen. I'm going to have this massive curveball thrown at me because I have a feeling that's coming. But yeah, there's a few characters that I'm a little on edge with, and I have my suspicions around them, because you know things are saying too good to be true. There's a couple of characters in there that make me feel like that, and I'm cautious. I'm very cautious. So yeah, I don't know what else to say because I don't want to ruin anything. See, it's the first book in a series, and the kind of story that it is, and the plot and the context around this book, there's not much I want to say because I don't want to risk spoiling anything for anybody, but just know the banter is good. There is good banter. Evie is comical. There's been a few moments that I've like just giggled to myself, and yeah, just know there's that, and there is the nice little mystery element to it. Although I will say, bring it in a little bit before we round up this clip, there is obviously magical elements. Like we've had dragons, we've had whatever the hell that other creature is. I have no idea how you pronounce it. 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒𝖊. I'll put it on there. How it's spelled. 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒𝖊. G-U-V-R-E. Whatever that is. We've had that as well. So we've had like magical creatures. Obviously our villain has magical powers. We've got a healer in there. You know, we are seeing these magical elements naturally, but I feel like I'm also not seeing them as much as I was probably expecting to see them. I don't know if that's just me, but like obviously like I said, we're seeing magical elements, we're seeing them, but I don't know, I felt like I was just expecting to see a little bit more. But that could just be a me thing. I don't know. It could just be me. But anywho, I'm going to chill out for 5 and then probably pick up and maybe finish off the rest. So either, like I said, tonight or tomorrow morning, I will come to you guys when I have finished it and you guys have my final thoughts. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. If you guys want something quick and easy, this is the book. I mean, I started it last night and yeah, I'm devouring it. So if you guys want something quick and easy, Assistant to the Villain is the one I recommend to go to. So it's the next evening. I finished Assistant to the Villain earlier today and I've given it a 4-star. I did really enjoy this one. I found it really intriguing. Characters are interesting, the plot, the story, everything is intriguing, the characters are intriguing. That ending has left me eager to see what happens next, because I'm like, okay, we are about to see, I think, a whole new level to Ivy in this next book. Like a whole new level to Ivy. And I really want to explore more of the villain, because like I said, we didn't really get that many POVs of his in this book. But like what we did get, I feel like we only touched the surface layer of him. I think there is still so much more to him for us to look at and explore. I do have inklings around Kingsley, a little froggy frog Kingsley, a little guy up here, based on some things that the villain had said that when he was in his POV. I just have some inklings. We do know more of his story towards the end here, the villains. I'm jumping back and forth a little bit, aren't I? Jeez. But yeah, that twist, I didn't see that level of twist coming at the end. I didn't see that level. I had inklings. I'm sure you guys remember me saying that I was a bit like thinking of some of the characters, a little bit still unsure. This character was one that I was unsure about, but I didn't think in that way. Like, that I was a bit unsure like around their circumstances, like something just wasn't feeling right. But I didn't expect that level. I didn't expect to that level because why? That was just mean. Just pure evil. It was evil. Why would you do that? It's just not on. But yeah, I am very intrigued to see more of this. A little bit. Evie is fully ready for the next book. I'm fully ready for the next book. But yeah, I did thoroughly enjoy it, and it's really interesting story, and this is a nice, easy, like cozy read, like, but it's not too cozy. It still holds that tension in it to keep you gripped and like to devour it and hook you into the story. But it's not like too heavy, but it is like, it's just nice, easy, cozy, got that nice little gripping tension to it. It's not too much. So yeah, I really enjoyed this one. This is been a nice easy read for you guys if you're wanting something quick in between some heavier books. This is like the perfect book for it. But yeah, I am intrigued to see what happens in the second book. I do have it on my shelf to read sometime soon, and I know the third one does come soon. But yeah, I will finish that series off at some point. Add it to the list, guys. Add it to the list. Anywho, yeah, another book down, 4 stars. I really enjoyed this one, and I'm intrigued to see where it's gonna go. Like I said, that was an interesting twist there at the end, and I can't wait to explore that more, because we've been left on a little bit of a hanger with that twist. I say hanger, if you guys are ready, you know what I mean. So I'm intrigued to explore that a bit more too. Yes, I'm intrigued to explore that. I don't want to give away too much. Just know, loved it. Very easy and quick to read. Nice, cozy, mystery, tension vibed. Absolutely adored. Pick it up. We loved it. Anywho, can you guys tell it's like, what time is it? 10 past 10. Can you guys tell? I'm like ready for bed, but I'm going to pick up our last book for today's video, which is Lightlark by Aster. Now, this series, this book, it's been on the radar for since it pretty much came out. And did it come out? I can't even remember. 2023? 2022. 2022 was Lightlark. So yeah, it's pretty much been on my radar since then. Maybe 2023 at the latest. So yeah, it's been on my radar for a while. I do think it is a bit of me, but I've been so fearful to pick it up because I've had a thing recently with a lot of loved books I've not got on with. So I'm scared that this is going to be the same, and I'm going to be very upset if it is the same, and if this is a loved book that I don't get on with. Because it just seems so up my street. It just seems like it. It's just like... And then it's just recently been announced that there's more books to the series as well. There's a 4th one to come. Love it. So anyway, but Lightlark's our first one. This is the one we're worrying about for this video. It says, welcome to the Centennial. Every 100 years, the island of Lightlark appears for only 100 days to host a deadly game where the rulers of 6 realms fight to break their curses and win unparalleled power. Each ruler has something to hide, each curse is uniquely wicked. To break them and save themselves and their realm, one ruler must die. To survive, 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈 must lie, cheat, betray, even as love complicates everything. There we go. We shall see, but yeah. This is the last one for this video. This is probably, out of the 3, my most anticipated one that I think I'm going to love the most. But we'll see how this goes. But yeah, I'm going to finish sorting myself out. This is 490 pages, but it is a flopper. So I'm looking forward to that flopper. I've been enjoying holding a physical book these last couple of days. I haven't held a physical book for so long to read. Obviously I've held books, but I haven't read a physical book in a while. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's my little updates for you guys on where we're at, what we're doing. I'm gonna finish sorting myself out. I'm gonna get myself cozy, and we're gonna start Lightlark, and we're gonna go from there. So I've just got back from my grandparents. I did start Lightlark last night. I haven't read any today, but I made it to chapter 3, page 20. Now, what I'm gonna say is gonna sound really fucking stupid, okay? I'm very aware of what I'm gonna say is stupid, but I don't know how else to describe it. But it is very wordy. I know, but stay with me. Obviously, we're setting up the world. We're kind of introducing to the characters. You know, we're building. But it seems like the author is using every possible word to describe everything. It's feeling that way to me. To me, personally, that's how it's feeling. I also kind of like have to giggle to myself a little bit. Because, you know, with fantasy books, you find that they make up these really big, long, random names that you can't pronounce. And this one, the author's gone for words like skyling, wildling, starling, moonling, sunling. Like, she's like taken words and just put ling at the end. Again, to me, it feels that way. I'm like expecting a lot more difficult words, and I mean, that may still come. That could still come, don't get me wrong, that could still happen. But that's my thoughts so far. It just feels very wordy, and it just feels like, compared to other fantasies that I read, it feels quite simplistic in those kind of words. I realise how contradicting that sounds. But it's wordy in its descriptions of things, but when it comes to like the names, they can seem quite simplistic compared to other fantasies that I've read. Again, I know how stupid all of this sounds. I'm very aware of it, but I don't know how else to describe it. But these things might change, obviously. We're just at the beginning where we've been introduced to everything, so obviously these things can change. There's a lot of the book left still to go. But that's my thoughts so far. And it's also not gripped me. I've not been gripped in by it. I didn't feel the need to take it with me to my grandparents, let's put it that way. I didn't feel like I needed to just take it with me and pick it up and read and not put it down. But again, that could all change. I'm only 20 pages in. This could all change. I'm very aware of that. But right now, that's what's going on in my head. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I don't really have anything else to say to you guys. But I thought I'd just update you guys so you know I have started it, and I'm just how I'm feeling right now, and we shall see what happens. But yeah, at the moment, I'm not I would say I'm not vibing with it, but it's just not. I definitely obviously need to get a lot further. Definitely, obviously, naturally. But yeah, I thought I'd just like give you guys, that's where I'm at so far. I don't have anything else to say, so I'm gonna go. Hi guys, it's Sunday the 27th. I didn't read any of Lightlark yesterday in the end. That didn't happen. I am currently on sprints though, so I'm gonna make this a really quick update because it's almost finished the sprint. I'm at chapter 18, page 130, so I've definitely made a very solid and decent dent into this book. I've actually ended up picking the audiobook as well to do an immersive read because I just couldn't get myself to pick this book up and read it just on its own. So I'm using the audiobook to help me, and it definitely is helping me. But I have noticed these don't match because the narrator is saying things that's not written in the book, and I'm getting very confused. So that's great. I'm loving that. But yeah, I'm still standing by what I say at the beginning about the overly wording descriptions and the simplicity to some other words that you would kind of expect for a fantasy to be complex. Now obviously I know they don't have to be, I know that, but it just feels very weird to me. It just feels weird, and I'm not too entirely sure on my vibes and thoughts for this book. But we are delving deeper into the plot, so things are starting to build up a little bit more. I'm obviously getting more information. I'm seeing more of the characters and getting a little bit more of the backstory and what's going on with them, and like why they're doing what they're doing to a degree, their reasonings behind why they are there, because the ones we've kind of got further details into, their reasonings are very different to what you would assume. That makes no sense unless you've read the book. If you've read the book, I guess you guys would know what I'm kind of meaning. Like, you would assume them all to have the same reasoning, but when you get to know some of these characters, they do have different reasonings. That explains it better. Well done, Sky. So yeah, I'm not entirely sure. The writing baffles me, but I think it's because of those things that I've mentioned where it just baffles me, and I'm getting a bit, I would say it's off-putting. It's just confusing for me a little bit. Like, I don't really know what's going on, and I'm not saying that in regards to the plot because I'm very aware what's going on with the plot. Like, I'm keeping up with that, but I'm just very confused to what's going on when the writing comes into play with it. Does that make sense? Do you guys understand me? Probably not. But I just don't know how else to describe my feelings on this book. Like, it's not a bad book, and to a degree I am enjoying it, but I'm not loving it how I thought I was going to love it. So yeah, it's not vibing the way I thought it was going to vibe for me, which is just making it a little difficult to pick up and to read. But it happens. It is the way it goes. This is what happens with reading. You're not going to love everything you thought you love. So, but yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. I'm just baffled a little bit in the general gist of the book. But like I said, I'm keeping up with the plot. I know what's going on. I'm very much with that. The characters are interesting. Like I said, some of them have different reasonings to why they're doing what they're doing, and that's interesting to explore, and I'm intrigued to explore more of that into more detail and see if we have some more revelation to some of the other characters that we've not learned those reasonings behind, because there definitely seems to be some more there that's kind of like not necessarily hinted at, but you just kind of get the vibes that there's more to it. But the characters are interesting. I'm working out their dynamics still, because obviously they're all very different characters. Obviously the curses are different that affect them and their people and their realms and stuff, so they are all very, very different. So I'm trying to work out their dynamics and how they work together and who's more fitting for each other. And I don't mean like a relationship sense, I mean in their dynamic sense, like who works more well with each other. So yeah, it's interesting so far. We're intriguing. My sprint is about to finish. I'm going to round this out really, really quickly. But yeah, that's where we're at. I'm going to keep reading. I'm going to come back to it in the next sprint and I'll update you guys later on. I'm kind of with another little update. I read it at chapter 36, page 270. So a bit more further through. I'm going to pause it there for today. The audiobook most definitely helping massively. And it's definitely getting better. I think I said this earlier. It's definitely getting better. The more depth of the plot we're exploring as more things are unraveling and we find out more information, like it's definitely getting more interesting and I am wanting to read it. And I know I said earlier about the dynamics between the characters. One of the ones that we've been very aware about from the beginning and that kind of relationship, I think there's something to come with that, and not necessarily in a good way. But I think there's something there that's gonna be unraveled. I don't know, I just I'm getting weird vibes from that one. And we're exploring other dynamics between other characters. There's still two that we don't really know a lot about, and I'm intrigued when we're going to explore them. One of them, actually, they're practically all a mystery, let's be honest, they're all a mystery. But there's these two that we just like, very, very surface layer. Very, very surface layer. So I'm intrigued to explore more of those. But yeah, it's definitely interesting, and we're closing in. We're now 50 days into the centennial, so we're halfway through it. So we're gonna be having things are definitely gonna start to get a lot more tenser, and things are starting to just kind of unravel and crumble and fall apart in many aspects. So we're definitely, it's gonna get interesting these last, I think I just read it was day 54. I think where I'm roughed at, I think it was like 54 days. So we're just over the halfway point, and I have inklings on where this book's going to leave us off, and like I got a feeling it's going to leave us on a hanger. So yeah, I'm preparing myself for that. That is how much we have left, and I'm preparing to be left on quite a hanger. So we shall see. But honestly, I still don't have, quite frankly, too much else to say to you guys from where I updated you earlier, because my thoughts and feelings are still very much the same. I have a feeling I'm going to be able to give you more once I've fully finished the book, but I'm definitely like, I'm getting used to it. I could still stand by the whole wordy and simplistic descriptions I gave you guys at the beginning. Still stand by those, as stupid as they sound. But you know, it is most likely just a me thing. It is most likely just a me thing. But I am used to it. I'm getting used to it. I'm still continuing on. Like I said, the audiobook is very much to help me. I don't think this is a book, maybe even series, I won't know until I do the others, but that I just need the audiobook for as well. I'm pretty sure the main character, I think it's 𝖜𝖊, it's how they've pronounced it. And I said 𝖜𝖊 when I read the back because that's how it's spelled, but I think they pronounce it in here 𝖜𝖊. So if I remember correctly from the audiobooks, I say that as if like I've not been listening to the audiobook for the last few hours. I have, but 𝖜𝖊. See, it's not 𝖜𝖊. I can't remember, I think it might be 𝖜𝖊. I'll come to you guys at the end once I've finished the book and I actually update you guys, because I've been sat here for like the last hour or so not reading, so it's kind of gone out of my mind a little bit. So I'll get you guys on the next update as soon as I finished the book, so I can give you guys the actual proper pronunciations. So yeah, but it's where we're at. I think, yeah, I'm gonna be able to have to give you guys a better update once I've really finished it and I get my full vibes of the entire book, everything that goes on, and I can then really kind of evaluate my thoughts and feelings on the book, because I think at the moment where I'm still reading it and my thoughts and feelings are still a bit hit and miss, a bit all over the place, because with everything, with the writing and stuff, I think I need the whole conclusive of the book. I feel like I need to conclude the book, finish the book off, and then really kind of sit and evaluate how I'm feeling and stuff on this one. But yeah, we'll see. It might be an audiobook series, but we'll wait and see when I get to the second one. But thankfully I had BookBeat, had Lightlark audiobook, so I was able to listen to it, which is handy. But yeah, I'm going to stop there for tonight. I just need a bit of a break. I'm going to pick up a different book, but for now I'm going to get comfy, I'm going to get cozy, I'm going to sort myself out and just chill. So I finally finished Lightlark. It's the day after what I said I would finish it on. It's now Tuesday because I didn't pick up the book like at all yesterday, but I finally finished it. I'm giving it a 3.75. It just didn't hit the way I thought it was gonna hit. Like it definitely got interesting and better the more the plot, like I feel like by probably about this point the plot had really developed and it became more interesting. And I'm intrigued to see what happens next, especially after that ending. Like, it's definitely left me intrigued, but I'm not eager to pick it up anytime soon. So I'll get there at some point, but I'm not like, oh my god, I need to pick up the next book now. Characters are interesting. Even though it's finished one way with 3 of the characters, I say 3 of the characters, 2 of our characters is finished in one way, but I do believe it's gonna flip to the other way. Without spoiling anything, if you guys have read it, you'll probably know what I'm on about. I do think it's gonna flip to the other way because something don't seem right in there, so I think like that's going to change, and it will be interesting to see what the rest of the story is going to be about. Gonna be interesting to see, because even though hanger, yes, no, technically left you on a hanger, but it's also concluded quite well, so I'm intrigued to see what the rest of the series is going to be, what it's going to follow, because I don't feel like there's much. Like, you've got like the first 1 or 2 chapters on 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈 in here, but I'm not reading them. I'll leave that until I pick up the actual book. But yeah, I don't really know where it's going to go from here, to be honest with you, because it concluded fairly decently. Like I said, it's just that thing with those characters. It did get left on a little bit of her doing something. I think it's 𝖜𝖊𝖑. I think if I remember correctly, reading it right, it's 𝖜𝖊𝖑. Reading it right, hearing it right. But yeah, I don't know, just didn't hit right. Not what I expected. And it's definitely an audiobook thing for me. I tried reading it physically at my grandparents' today, because obviously I didn't take my headphones with me, and I just couldn't do it. So it's definitely an audio thing. I'm not fully here for it. Not gonna lie, didn't hit the way I was hoping, but it's okay. It happens. It happens. But yeah, I'm very baffled to what the rest of the series could go, because like I said, concluded quite well. The writing was okay. I still stand by everything I said at the beginning, where it felt like it was a bit too wordy in points and descriptions, and then quite simplistic in other things. Like, the balance just felt very off. So I still stand by that. But I don't know, I don't really have much else to say, if I'm being very honest with you guys about this book. I don't have much else, because I think I'm just a bit I just don't know. I don't have many things to say on this book. Just something about it's not gone the way I thought it was gonna go. And like I said, I think because I'm baffled about where the rest of the series could go, it's kind of leaving me in a little bit of like a limbo of like not really having much to say. So yeah, that's all I can give you guys for this one, because I have no clue what else to say. Quite frankly, this book's just baffled me to no end. But that's it for today's video. We've read our second lot of 3 books for 12 Friends Pick Our Reads. We've had a DNF, we had a 4-star, and we had a 3.75. So not bad per se for today's video, guys, but hey ho. Look, this has shot me for 6. I don't know what I'm saying or doing anymore, so yeah, I'm gonna end it there. So if you guys enjoyed today's video, let us know. Leave a comment down below if you've read these books and your thoughts, if this has left you similar feelings, because I feel like these 2 we need to discuss. Am I on my own in these opinions? Let me know. But yeah, that's it. Thank you guys for joining us. Thank you for watching. I will catch you guys in the next video if you decide you want to come back and enjoy my crazy again. But yeah, otherwise I'll see you guys later. So don't forget to keep smiling, be kind, keep reading. Bye guys.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.